Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Mariana's Coffee.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The Boost program and more as the Attorney General speaks out about public corruption cases in the NMI. Also tonight, the Chief of Parole on trial for forging personnel action documents. And new flights from Hong Kong begin this weekend with high load factors as Chinese tourists start to make their way back to the Mariana Islands. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
I love Mariana's Coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
Mickey D's McCrispy, formerly known as the Crispy Chicken Sandwich, now has some respect on his name. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Real talk. The Spicy Crispy Chicken Sandwich should have been named Spicy McCrispy from jump. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
A special crimes unit that investigates public corruption has charged several government officials, such as former Governor Ralph Torres, Rhoda's Ivan Mareb, and currently in trial, Chief of Parole Nick Regis. It's called the Public Integrity Task Force, formerly known as the White Collar Crimes under the Office of the Attorney General. AG Edward Manibusan in a press conference this morning.
This task force was created some 3-4 years ago, actually, or more, starting with my election, where I promised the Commonwealth, the citizens, that I would investigate public corruption. So the task force was created years ago, and throughout the transition, we finally have a managing prosecutor.
James Kingman has been the lead prosecutor in these cases. He works together with the Office of the Public Auditor and the Department of Public Safety. One of the most followed cases is the former governor, who was charged by Manibusan himself in April of 2022. It's been 2 years since criminal charges were filed, but the trial has yet to begin as legal matters continues to be argued on. Manibusan speaks to the criticism from the community on the pace of the case.
I cannot comment any further, but I just we all hope and the community desire to see cases, disposed of quickly so that people can move on with their lives, right? And I hope that in this particular case, it moves on through the process more quickly. That is all I can say about this case.
The AG explains that some of the public corruption cases are brought to light by members of the community.
The people in the community will call us our office. They will file complaints and give us information from different sources. We have our hotlines. The OP has their hotlines. There are ways that people report to office, and when we receive information, we review the information. If it requires further investigation, we will proceed with further investigation. There are cases, there are information where we generally just say there's no basis for going forward, so we closed.
Manny Busan shares the task force has recently received statements of contempt from the House of Representatives for former Boost contractors Robert Travilla, Selena Sapp, and former finance chief David Atelig. Investigations are currently ongoing. No charges have been made yet. A bench trial continues today in Superior Court in a case filed against Chief of Parole Nick Mosca-Regis, who is charged with 4 counts of forgery and 1 count of misconduct in public office. Regis is accused of forging and altering the term of his own employment contract last December. The government says it was supposed to be a 30-day extension, but it was altered to 1 year. James Kingman is prosecuting the case for the NMI. Yesterday, not much testimony as the two sides argued over the introduction of new evidence, personnel action paperwork that was recently found by a parole staffer. The government told Judge Joseph Camacho that it was paperwork they have been searching for. They originally believed it was locked up inside of Regis's office, but a parole staffer found it during an office reorganization. The defense argued that the new evidence is being introduced too late and asked for the case to be dismissed. Judge Camacho allowed the paperwork into evidence, and the staffer testified yesterday afternoon. Today, current Special Assistant and former Speaker of the House Oscar Babauta took the stand as a witness for the government. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, 85% of the prison population has an active substance use disorder, or they were incarcerated for a crime involving drugs or drug use. The Substance Abuse Addiction and Rehabilitation Program, better known as SAR, creates a re-entry program that assists prisoners and newly released correctional inmates in their transition back to the community.
We gathered to celebrate the launch of the SAR Community Outreach Partnership Program, an initiative that reflects on our unwavering commitment to support and transform our community.
The re-entry program will provide services crucial for maintaining sobriety and preventing criminal relapse, which includes NA and AA meetings. Superior Court Judge Teresa Kim Tenorio is a vocal supporter for those in recovery.
These are for folks who have already served their sentence and are coming out into the community. But listen, let's be realistic. When you open the prison doors and say you're done with your sentence, goodbye, the fact of the matter is they're going to need food in the next couple hours after they get out. They're going to need a place to sleep that night. They're going to need food tomorrow. They're going to need shelter. How do we help these folks?
For Jordan Taitingfung, it's programs like this that could make a difference both inside the facility and out in the community.
Going to a program such as this, you have an idea of what to expect. But actually participating, you have a greater understanding than what was expected. My experience in this program has helped me to understand myself and the people around me on a deeper level. It's helped me look past experiences and mistakes I've made, showing me that there's hope for those who are trying to make a difference in their lives, because there are programs like this that are trying to help make that difference. My mom used to tell me, the decisions you make today will greatly affect you in the future. As you can see, my decisions greatly affected my future. But since being incarcerated, I am taking every opportunity given to me so I can better myself and prepare for my future. I'm grateful for this re-entry program. Thank you.
Recovery is a lifelong journey and commitment. It's a process of change and rebuilding one's life, which often is difficult and heartbreaking at the same time. Governor Arnold Palacios knows what it's like.
My name is Arnold P. I'm a recovering addict and a wannabe recovering alcoholic. So there you have it. It took me 25 years. I am now in recovery for 25 years.
The governor shared a brief journey of his recovery, which included a 60-day stay in a rehabilitation facility and a meetings 3 times a week and lots of support from his family and friends. He says it's not easy, but with programs like this, it does work.
If they have taken the time and the effort, the mental effort, spiritual efforts to get to where they're at today, let's give them that second chance. I wouldn't be standing here if my family and my community didn't give me that second chance. So thank you. Thank you, SAR. Thank you, Judiciary. Thank you, Legislature. Thank you, DOC. And thank you to all the nonprofits for continuing this effort to help members of our community. It does work. And my name is Arnold P.
Upgrade your savings when you bundle with any iPhone 15 series today. Our affordable Link Bundle gives you the power to choose just what you need, with mobile and home internet starting for as low as $105 a month, no home phone required. Plus, activate your bundle with the brand new iPhone 15 and receive your first 2 months of home internet on us. A $50 port in credit, a SuperPod AX, and basic installation, all free for a limited time. Additional conditions may apply. Visit DocomoPacific.com to learn more. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Aren't you going to wear your seatbelt?
It's fine. I'm late and we ain't going too far.
Don't pick that up.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Look out!
It is easy to get drawn into the daily mandates of life, thinking that things cannot wait. It is a fact that time does not stop for anyone. But there are times when you will need to stop for the sake of everyone. No matter how important you think it is, it can always wait.
Premium office space is available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Features include dedicated parking, fast internet, backup power, good water, and natural light throughout to go along with the very best views on Saipan. So don't settle for space when you can get peace and peace of mind. Call Hermosa Vista today at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com.
I love Marianne's coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
This weekend, Hong Kong Airlines begins twice weekly flights to the Mariana Islands, and it should inject a shot in the arm to arrivals from China. Prior to the pandemic, Chinese arrivals made up a large percentage of tourists to the Mariana Islands, with charter flights coming directly from mainland China and direct flights from Hong Kong as well. This weekend, new service begins with a wide-body plane coming in from Hong Kong, and that service currently scheduled at twice a week.
I mean, it's always very exciting, not just to get a new airline coming in, but a new airline from a new destination. And so they flew before the pandemic, and so we're going to welcome them back. We have a lot of things that are planned actually for that inaugural flight. We'll have some dignitaries and a representative from MBA on that inaugural flight, and then we'll have a lot of people basically at a press release welcoming that flight in. So from what my understanding is, it looks like the load factors are really good. It looks like the projection for the bookings are also very good, and so it's something that is very positive for CNMI.
Most of the guests will be here for 3 or 4 days as the travel pattern. The flight is currently being offered on third-party websites like Ctrip and is expected to be for sale locally in the near future for those in the Marianas who would like to access Hong Kong coming from here. The MVA board met on Thursday to discuss the new flights and plans going forward.
And we hope that it will continue for the year and then out after that. And hopefully, especially during busy times, that they might just add in a few extra flights weekly. So it's a good thing, it's a positive thing, and we just hope that much success for the two tour agencies that are actually taking a big bulk of the risk.
The Flame Tree Festival, held this April, is one of the unique events that is held on the island of Saipan but has ties from around the Pacific Islands.
My name is Gloriana Tawira, and I am the Executive Director for the Commonwealth Council for Arts and Culture. And tonight is our last night for the 43rd Annual Flame Tree Arts Festival. And I want to thank the community, our sponsors, our private and government agencies that have come out and supported us financially and physically in making this event a successful one.
Festival combines carvers, painters, jewelry makers, and more, along with artists, singers, dancers, and food vendors for 3 days of local-style events.
My name is Matthew Mosca, and I have a business under Banidosu shells, and I carve spondulus and seashells.
Matthew says he got started because he wanted one himself.
The movement of the tradition, ornaments, of course, started in Guam. And in those days, I wanted to have one. And so I asked a carver from Tinian to make me one, because I'm from Tinian. And they didn't, meaning they were just so busy, because at that time the demand was up. So I decided to look into it and started carving in 2008.
Longtime local artist Toki Mojica says she's keeping the Micronesian culture alive.
You got to keep it because you got to remember this is who we are, this is what we are, and this is what identifies us. Without culture, I think we cannot be who we are. Making something out of nothing, for example, these dried coconut leaves and dried pandanus leaves. It's amazing how you can transform something that is not living into something is beautiful and alive, So this is what always touched my heart. And if I can make somebody smile because they love my work, it's more than gold.
Thursday night, we are pleased to present right here on the Channel 2 News, the Humanities Half Hour, hosted by Catherine Perry. This week's guest is Vicente Camacho Borja. Borja is a cultural practitioner in various aspects of the indigenous Chamorro culture. This week's topic, the Chamorro Zupactu sling.
The traditional Zupactu was made out of traditional fibers. For example, pandana. They have a pandana leaves. They also have this pagu that we have there. Pagu is, we call it a hibiscus tree. It's they skin it, and then there's a process. And then there's also punyut, where the coconut husk, where they gather the husk and the punyut. And then they
make like a rope.
Yeah. And then they also use I forgot what's the other fiber, but it's still within the coconut. It's like a fiber that wraps around the coconut. They also use that. So back then, that's what they're using. Pagu actually is really strong. Pandana is really strong. The only thing right now is that with those traditional, it works just as perfect. The only thing is when it gets moist or as time progresses, it kind of brittles a little bit and it breaks, and then you have to make a new one. So now the modern sling that we use now is we use paracord, and it works just as good, just as accurate, and just as effective.
The show starts at 7 p.m. Don't miss it.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goat's Gym, and today we're going to show you a Bulgarian split squat, a fantastic lower body exercise that should be a main staple in your training. Now the first thing we want to address is the rear foot placement. Now whether it's toes on or toes off, just find what's comfortable for you. The bigger issue we want to tackle is the height of the box or bench. You see, when you set up on a box or a bench that's too high, that inherently puts an aggressive stretch on the front of your hip. Oftentimes, that sensation will take away from the working leg, the leg that's on the floor. And when you start to add load in this faulty position, you're bound to run into some problems, particularly if you got some mobility restrictions. So Jamila's gonna set up. She's gonna descend with control, and from there, just stand tall.
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass, and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week. At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under sea NMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
And for your KSPN weather report, tonight partly cloudy with isolated showers, east winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, low 78, and your chance of showers is at 20%. Thursday through Friday, partly cloudy with isolated showers, east winds 15 to 20 miles per hour, highs 86 and lows 79. For your marine forecast, moderate trades will prevail in the region for much of the week, briefly becoming fresh by Friday. Combined seas of 5 to 7 feet are expected through the weekend. A passing trough will produce scattered showers in Guam and Rota waters for most of the day. Isolated thunderstorms were also observed just outside the coastal waters of Guam and Rota overnight. High tide will be at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow, followed by a low tide at 2:42 p.m. Sunrise will be at 5:57 a.m. and the sunset, you can catch that at 6:33